is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we know it can be so scary to go for your very first mammogram, or maybe the second or the third. And here to help you prepare for that appointment, we have family medicine Dr. Patricia Egwuatu with Kaiser Permanente Capitol Hill Medical Center. Hi there.
Good morning.
Thank you so much, and for wearing pink too.
No problem.
On the ball always. Okay, so talk to me about how many people are diagnosed with breast cancer and when we should be getting these mammograms.
This is a great question, and I think it's scary, right, in terms of breast cancer, but 1 in 8 women in the lifetime will be diagnosed with breast cancer, and 1 in 43 will unfortunately pass away for breast cancer. So it's really important that we start to talk about in terms of when you should be screened. So now the recommendations is that you start at age 40. Previously, it was 50, but the United States Preventive Task Force in 2024 changed the recommendations. So that actually means that there's a group of women that are not being screened. So if you could talk with your physician or provider that say, hey, I'm approaching 40 or I am 40, I should be screened.
And you know, I actually sort of went through this like mental exercise not too long ago where I realized I hadn't been to the doctor in like 2 years and had to make that appointment. Talk to me about the importance of advocating for yourself when it comes time to get this test. I mean, it's not something to put off.
No, it's not. That's the key, is like to advocate for yourself. And I think really knowing about your family history, if you can have it, is important, because that actually can change the screening recommendations.
Okay, very important to note. Okay, so for people who have not had a mammogram before, can you walk us through that first time process?
Yeah, so when you think about it, right, is that a mammogram is an x-ray for screening for breast cancer. So you're going to go into a room where your top is going to be exposed. So if you can wear like a bottom and top that day, that would be great to allow the area to be exposed. And then if you can also avoid like deodorants or perfumes, because that can interfere actually with the x-ray. And then also realizing that your breasts are going to be a little bit uncomfortable. They're going to be placed between 2 plates and compressed, but the technicians are amazing. They're going to help you walk through it. It will be a little bit uncomfortable, but it goes by super quick. And unfortunately, sometimes you may be called back for more imaging. That's 1 in a 10 chance, but it's important to know that since it could be your first one, they may need to get more images because they need to compare it to another to just see who you are. Okay,
so if you are me, don't immediately spiral is what you're saying. There's a lot of reasons you might need to come back.
Yeah, there's so many different reasons, like, hey, we didn't get enough imaging, right? So we need to take a look at another area, or hey, there is an area of concern, so the radiologist wants to gather more data, which is important to think about, and it's okay if you do spiral.
You know, I just want to say how much I appreciate how clearly and directly you're explaining this, because I think it's so important that we just understand how it's going to be, and that really helps with the anxiety. I want to go back to talking about who might be at the most increased risk when it comes time to really get this exam.
Super important. So when we think about it, right, we have different family members. So first generation is our mom or daughter or sister. If they happen to have breast cancer, it's important to know because that can change when you get screened. Second generation can be like an aunt, a grandmother, a niece, and if they had breast, ovarian, or even sometimes colon cancer before age 50, then it also changes the screening recommendations. Then if you have someone in your family who happens to be a male with breast cancer, or you have a genetic risk like BRCA1 or BRCA2, that even changes the risk. And then specifically, like, Black women are 40% more likely to die from breast cancer. So if you fit within these groups, it's just so important that we really take the screening super serious.
Okay, thank you so much for that. And before we let you go, any other advice that you want to drop on us here?
You know, it's scary. I think, it's important to have the conversations with loved ones, like talk about it, like get more of the history, and know that you're not alone. Like, I'm freaking out thinking about it, like knowing that I'm gonna have to do this.
We were sharing that during the break.
It's scary, but it's super important. We can decrease the risk of breast cancer.
All right, Patricia, thank you so much for hanging out with us today and having this important conversation as well.